Well, knocking never hurt a diesel, right? Dang it, knocking. That sounds bad. And we have major oilage coming out of the exhaust. It's a big crack in the exhaust too. Actually, it almost looks like somebody cut that. Yeah, that was done with a cutting wheel. Okay. Sounds like the starter motor is kind of disengaging too. You're really not supposed to use that much starting fluid, but oh, now it's not engaged. I gotta manually re-engage the starter. You're going full Mad Max here, guys. Oh, that sounds really bad. This is a bleed valve on top of the fuel filter. I'm gonna try cracking that when we run it one more time. Okay, we got a good prime. A bunch of air came out of there. We're trying to work the pump now. Turns out on this injection pump, there's a little solenoid, and I believe you have to send power to that to send fuel. Could be mistaken, but let's give that a go. Oh, wow, started fluid. I've got some throttle body cleaner. Yeah, don't want to start on that. I'm gonna grab this farm jack so we can jack her up and check the oil level. Oh, look at that, busy bees in the spring. Bees absconded last year, so I assume these are just robin honey, but I'll have to pop that back apart, see what's going on. That's why I get to sit a little bit more level. If I can. That's gonna upset my boom prop though, huh? Holy smokes. Oh yeah, that's too heavy for the farm jack. Let's pour a little oil in here just to see if it comes on the dipstick. Be safe. Oh, that's rusty in there, huh? Nice surface rust. Pour 2 quarts in. See if we got anything on here now. Yeah, a little bit on the bottom of the stick now. Coming up about 3/4. It looks nasty, but that'll work. No matter what I do down on this injection pump, I can't get it to stay running. Working the throttle back and forth and everywhere else. I got air into the high pressure fuel system. Didn't have to bleed the lines. We're gonna start wrapping this one up. Let's see if that alternator was seized. Get this belt off here. Oh man, that's glued in there. Yeah, so the alternator's rock solid. The water pump was not seized. Just the alternator. But we are getting diesel flow because the return is diesel, so we are getting it through the pump. Let's see how that looks when we run it. Yeah, a ton of flow out of the return. Last thing I want to try, I hooked the return back over to the diesel fuel can, cracked an injector loose, and I want to try bleeding because a lot of time what can happen is if there's air in the high pressure fuel system, if they're trying to compress air through these things, it just will never compress. Nothing coming out of this one that's been cracked loose. I'm going with injection pump. I think somebody may have ran this dry or with really crummy fuel, or maybe it's just from sitting, but that's not passing fuel through it. And so just to recap, you know, we bled it here at the filter, had good diesel. I also bled it where that line comes in to the pump right here. I don't know what this little solenoid is, but we tried energizing it, not energizing it. It clicks when it goes, so that could be hung up. Not sure, but I don't have any. I cracked the lines down here where they come out toward the cylinder head. I don't have any flow coming out and definitely no flow up at the injectors. So the pump just doesn't seem to be passing diesel through it. This is a Lucas CAV. I was just looking them up. I saw a used one for $975 on eBay, or you can get yours rebuilt for $400 plus parts if it needs anything. A guy on eBay had that deal. A pretty expensive repair, and when you factor in all the hoses, the alternator, and the tire, and everything else that this forklift needs, probably not worth it. Unless, of course, you get it for free, because then you can put some money in it, and either the trans ends up being blown or whatever the case, you can recoup your money with scrap value. Of course, you would have to have the means to trailer this out, which I don't. Its lift capacity is 6,000 pounds. I'm guesstimating this has got to weigh at least 12 to 15,000. If you guys know, let me know down below. Don't even know what engine this is. Maybe it's a Cummins, or maybe it's a John Deere. If you have any info, feel free to drop that down below. Will it run? Yeah, on starting fluid, which is horrible to do for diesels. That's why it's making that really loud knocking noise, because this is extremely volatile, and you know, it's diesel engine is not designed to run on something like that. Diesel's much less volatile, so it's kind of a shame because the motor sounded good, you know. Certainly needs a ton of work though. We did get the boom to go up a little bit, so that was cool. Unfortunately, this one will probably be scrapped up by the time you guys see this video, because they need to get it out of here. So this was just kind of a little preliminary mess around with it. Let me know what you think this would have been worth. I put it up for sale. Best offer I got was $200 on it. Have it up for $2,000. Maybe I could lower it down to, I don't know, 800, but geez, it's probably worth 1,000 or more in scrap at least.